Good day and welcome to all the viewers out there joining us for the show recorded on Saturday for the Sunday meeting at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. Let's get straight into race number 1. We have an interview with trainer Alison Wright.
We were very pleased with her first run. She's come on from that. She's working well, so expecting a good run from her.
So they are expecting a good run from the first timer in race number 1 over 1,000 meters. And just having a look at the betting, number 1, Crafty from the Yoga's Governor stable. The commenters, a very nice type, and they are expecting a decent run. From 14 to 1 has shortened down to 6 to 1, so the anti-post support is there for the daughter of Rafif. And the Yoga's Governor stable are pretty spot on when they come to their first timers. So the comments coming through are quite positive about number 1, Crafty, and hopefully Serena Moody from that number 1 gate. Watch it go down to the start as they are first timers. Number 3, Treasure Island, a horse who has shortened from 28 to 10 down 22 to 10. And we know the Mike Miller team sends them out very, very early on, and they are quite precocious. So keep a close eye with Tristan Godden aboard, and definitely needs to be included into all of your calculations. Number 4, Captain's Pride. The presenter on course will get a comment from Louis Gerson. He said he will comment on the day. And then we go on to number 6, Barrington Blue, who they say is a very nice type, but might just need the run. The horse they all have to beat, the only one that's really going to test them besides number 10, Magical Sky. We got that comment from Alison Wright. Bell of Angeles did finish third to Captain's Envy first time out, and then followed up with a good second to Comic Relief. And Comic Relief is one of the better horses in the stable from the Mike Miller barn. In fact, they did go as far as to say it's their best filly when it comes to the 2-year-olds, so expect a bold performance. Number 10, Magical Sky, did finish 5.7 lengths behind, so does have that scope for improvement to come. And then looking at the rest of them, number 13, Winter Blessing, a horse for the larger trifectas and quartets. But the best advice I can give you is follow the betting in race number 1. The form's obviously with number 8, Bell of Angeles, but the money's come for number 1, Crafty, and number 3, Treasure Island. As we step into the ring, I say the ring for race number 2, where number 3, Broadway Girl, is going to be my first selection. But before we get to Broadway Girl, we do have an interview with Byron Foster and also Alison Wright.
Ice Rain, very impressed with her last win. She came from a long way back, and she really ran on nicely. Look, she's shown us some nice work once again coming into this race, and she should be a bit closer with a smaller field, and we're hoping for another honest performance.
Yeah, Ginger Delight ran a really nice race for us first time out, and she's well, her work has been good, and feel that she'll be involved in the finish.
Number 3, Broadway Girl, is my first selection in race number 2, and I'm going to give you the reason why. The informed stable of Stuart Ferry, he's been sending out winner after winner, and you find that you follow the informed yards when they're having the winners, because they go through purple patches, and those purple patches, when they're running hot, they're firing on all cylinders. And here's a horse who has come back to her best recently, and she got set for reward last time out when beating She's a Bomber. She got beautifully set up, she got rewarded, and they took home the money for the Dryers, and well done to all concerned on that occasion. Sean Veal knows her exceptionally well, and the fact that if you go back to the earlier days, she ran in a merit-rated 104 behind Enemy Territory, she ran third to Hold My Hand, and then behind Red Palace. So she has taken on quite a bit stronger in the previous runs, and I just feel this is the right type of company. She's got her confidence back now, and she could certainly go back to back. I'm going to go number 3 to win, Broadway Girl. Note that number 7, Ice Sensation, is an early scratching at the time of recording. Number 1, Spirit of Lavana from the Glenn Cotson stable. That'll be my second selection. And they're toying around maybe with a pair of blinkers on. And if that has the desired effect, it could bring that little bit extra out of this Daughter of Fire away. If you look at her course and distance form, she's 1 from 1. And she has a turf record of 4 runs for 2 wins, so 50% win strike rate on the turf. So there's quite a lot to like about number 1, Spirit of Lavana. Then you add to the picture Gavin Narina aboard, who did ride in the penultimate run behind a certain horse called Quid Pro Quo. And we all know what the sensation Quid Pro Quo is, the talk of the town. She's won the graded races. She's been an absolute revelation. And the Durbanville stable, they know how good she is. And we, of course, know how good she is. That'll be my second selection. Draw 1, no concerns there, that'll be right in the favour. And then after that, number 5, African Beat. But if number 3, Broadway Girl, can reproduce her best form and bring that last run to the table, I believe she could seal the deal and get into the winner's frame. As we move along to race number 3, which will be the opening leg of the place accumulator, 13:05 over 1200 meters. And in the third race, we do have an interview, and that is with Nicolette Roscoe. So let's go and have a listen to what she has to say.
Yeah, I don't know what happened that day. He just didn't really kick that day. He ran a little bit below par than what we thought. But he's always been there and thereabouts. He's probably his worst enemy to himself, because he doesn't quite want to jump. He jumps a bit slow, he doesn't like kind of travel, and then he only seems to kick the last bit. So we have put the blinkers on. For some reason, I don't know, he ran a bit below par. I don't quite think it could be the blinkers. So yeah, look, he's well in himself and that, so we'll just have to take it. He's got a small squeak of a chance. The only thing I'm a little concerned is draw 1 with the way he travels, and that you could land up in a little bit of trouble and not get a clear passage. But we'll leave it up to Craig, but he's well in himself for a place.
Well, we'll kick off from where Nicolette Roscoe left off. Number 1, Real War, is not my first selection, but will be in my top 4 selections. The son of Active War, as she mentioned, is his own worst enemy. He's a horse that just doesn't seem to want to travel early on, and you're not going to get a great degree of confidence the way he goes down to the start. You'll see the Active War on the way down to the start. He generally goes down okay, but he's not going to blow you away. And then he jumps a little bit slowly, so they added the blinkers last time. Unfortunately, it didn't have the desired effect, but perhaps he was just a little bit off colour on the day, or he just didn't feel like galloping. So it'll all come down to the way he feels on the day, and if he can put that last run behind him and he warms up nicely, despite being an open maiden with the 61.5 on his back, I do believe that he can certainly improve. Number 3, Good Living, who will be my second selection. This is the son of Karari from the Paul Lafferty stable. The reason I'm tipping him second is because he looks fully exposed. He's had the 11 runs, but at least you know what you are getting. He's had the 2 seconds to Star of the Future and Top Seed, and you will notice that he's going to he did beat my first selection, number 10, Emoyeni, in that latest run. But I'm going to put it down to Emoyeni having his second run, whereas Good Living was having his 11th run, and that has swayed me in the favour of the MJ Udendal trained son of Rabada, number 10, Emoyeni. Now with the slight swing around in the weights, I think Rachel Benniker's 1.5 kilograms off. The debut run was scintillating, came from a country mile off them, and that form line, I think that's going to spark up nicely. It's looking decent. Second run, once again bumped out the gate. So if you look at both runs to date, bumped start, hung out last time, but that 400 to finish first time out in the soft, 22.3. That's what caught the attention of a lot of the punters out there. Last time out, he just seemed to go a little bit cold in the betting, and I think this is going to be the day where he's rejuvenated and he's open to that more natural improvement. So number 10, Emoyeni, for me, I think he's going to take some beating here. The average rating in his debut run was a 76. He then ran in a 70 handicap last time out, and I think that he could be superior to this field long term. So number 10, Emoyeni, my first selection, to beat number 3, Good Living, and number 1, Real War, is going to be just in behind them. And don't leave out horses 4 and 5, Serpentine Fire and Katavar, who are going to probably go to the front, show the speed, and I'm hoping Emoyeni mows them down late on in the day. Pick 6 players will be looking to play the Pick 6 at 13:40, so don't get left. 13:40 will be the carded off time for race number 4 over 1200 meters. And before I go to my selections, once again the interview package, let's see what the trainers have to say about their respective runners.
Yeah, no, she ran a nice second last time out. You know, like I said, the penultimate run before that was on the poly. She didn't like it. So she's done nothing wrong. She's still knocking on the door. She's fit, she's well. She's still, I still find she's still a little bit immature, especially when she works with some horses. Every now and again, she's still a little hesitant to come near them. But she's fit and well, and I think she'll go close on the day.
Yes, jumped the green light. Yeah, everything pretty much backfired. We were looking to get a lead from something, and we ended up finding ourselves in front, and the race just didn't pan out for her. She's a lot better than that. She is wanting a bit further, but we just want to get another good experience, give her a chance from off the pace, and hopefully she can finish off pretty much like her debut. Open sort of race, but definitely one to include.
So there we have it from the trainers, and that's what we need from the trainers. Princess Goldie, now we know we can draw a line through that penultimate run, no interest, did not enjoy the poly track, and then bounce back to a good second behind Jeanne d'Arc. She did beat number 7 Greenlight Queen when they clashed behind Hot Lava. However, number 7 Greenlight Queen is going to be my first selection, and a solid first selection. I believe the 4-1 is the value here. Last time I went for a 12-1. I thought she was the value selection, and I just think the race didn't map out. She was pressed a little bit early on, and I think that she should have gone a lot closer. She just faded out late on over the mile, and I penciled her down, and I said next time over a 1400 we put the money down and we collect the cash. She's dropped down to a 1200. The debut run was over 1100 behind Hot Lava. That's where number 3 Princess Goldie did beat her. But I think number 7 Greenlight Queen is going to start a bit shorter. And if Gavin Arena can get the tune out of her, which I'm sure he will do, I'm going to be quite strong in the camp of number 7 Greenlight Queen from the Tony Riverland stable. He knows how to train a racehorse. He's trained some really decent horses in his career, and she'll be my confident first selection, and I think she'll start quite a bit shorter than 4-1. The main danger for me is going to be number 4 Jump the Green Light. Very disappointing last time, but you heard from the team there, from Byron, things didn't quite work out, so we're going to draw a line through that. We'll go on the debut run when making some late progress. Comes to Hollywoodbets Scottsville for the first time, and let's see how this individual goes. But I'm going to be sweet and short. Number 7 Greenlight Queen at 4-1. I believe there's plenty of value to be had, and if it was a 1400, I'd say a 10 out of 10. Being a 1200, I'll go as far as say an 8.5 out of 10 for me. So number 7 Greenlight Queen is going to be my first selection to beat number 4 Jump the Green Light, number 3 Princess Goldie, and then after that number 2, Fantasy League. Now we move on to race number 5, and you'll notice that I've got the glasses on, so when the declarations come out, I've declared early, I've got my binoculars on, and hopefully it'll be a crystal ball for a closer inspection. And these goggles, they look deep into the form lines of number 2, Harun Al Rashid, and we'll get back to that in a moment as we go to our package.
Every time he's run, he's definitely looking for the ground. His last run prior to that, he couldn't get a run. He was stuck on the fence the whole way down the straight, so you can ignore that run. We got a nice draw, and yeah, he's fit, he's well, and he'll go very close.
Yeah, Saxon's Dynasty is a beautiful horse, well bred. Disappointed in his first run. Jock said he was just so green, so looking for improvement. Yeah, Portfire is a horse that's looking for this sort of distance. Unfortunately, he hasn't got the best draw. He may just need a few more runs before he knows what he's doing.
Well, with my equipment change, I won't sing the song, but at least I can see clearly now. I can see clearly now the rain has gone. Number 2, Harun Al Rashid. I'm very, very confident on this individual. Now, when you look at this, give me the green light from the Gareth van Zyl stable. Opened up around 15-10. The early money's there down 13-10. And I believe this individual is going to start around, I'm not going to suggest it, 8-10, 9-10, because of the form lines. If you look at the Legal Council form line, Legal Council sparked up. And there's been horses like Palace Gift, Golden Destiny who's come out to win 2. Maniki Neko, Water Dragon, I mentioned Legal Counsel, and from other form lines, all the same form lines, if you look at it, Repetition, the Zeitz form lines working out exceptionally well, Express Yourself, Red Dawn, and then when you look at the latest run behind Native Ruler, Red Dawn, Repetition, the form lines look decent. And the key for me is Pierce Stratum, Pierce Striker Stratum, known as the Blonde Bomber, one of the best jockeys we had around in many a year. He just knows how to do it and exactly what it takes to win races. And they brought him to KwaZulu-Natal, I believe, for a reason. And with military precision, I believe number 2, Harun Al Rashid, is going to be in the winner's enclosure. At the expense of number 1, Uzwano. Now, when the card first came out, I said, Uzwano, he's going to win this race, because I said after his last run, once they put this horse over a bit of a trip and he learns to race, he was desperately unlucky last time out. But I just feel that he's found a horse that could be going towards perhaps feature race material, maybe a small little listed race. So I'm going to go Uzwana as my second pick. And if you look at that run to Roller the Viking, that was a very decent effort despite being slow 2 lengths. And then his last run, everything went wrong. Watch that replay and keep a very close eye on. Uncle Lucky, the Wolf, Roller the Viking, these are decent type of horses. And even a horse like Top Gun from that, I think the Roller the Viking form line came through. So if you just go through the form lines and you have a close inspection, not too shabby. However, number 2, Harun Al Rashid, Pierce Stratum, I think this thing is a 9 out of 10 for me. I'm going to go 9 out of 10, and I think he'll take a ton of beating. At the expense of number 1, Uzwana. And then after you look at those horses, number 4, Fortune Hunter, and the filly number 6, Art Nouveau, as I take my goggles off, put them down, I declare number 2, Harun Al Rashid, as the best bet on the card. On to race number 6, we jump into over 1,600 meters. This is a maiden plate where you'll look at the best weighted column, but we'll get to that in a moment. We'll go to the interview package first, and then I'll declare my selections.
Yeah, he's a bit of a funny horse at home, Green Mile. He's obviously, the penny has dropped the last few starts since we've gone further, and he's been finishing his races off well. You just got to catch him on the right day, and hopefully Serena can settle him. Probably some respect to Tristan's horse. He got some Cape Town form. I know disappointed last time, but that could be the one to watch out for.
Yeah, no, the Mile, he's also looking for a bit further, but you know, we've got the blinkers on him, we've kept them on them to keep him a bit more focused, and the Mile he'll definitely suit, so he'll be running on very strongly.
So let me declare my numbers as we go through. I'm going 1, Green Mile to win. To beat number 9, White Waters, who is the best weighted horse. If you look at the best weighted column, rated as 76, 5 points clear of number 1, Green Mile. My third selection will be number 7, Ragnar the King, and fourth I'm going to go with number 5, who is Prince Florian, who I believe is a horse who is still learning how to race. But let's get back to Green Mile. I think Byron Foster pretty much summarized everything there. He's a funny horse, and you just got to catch him on the right day. So if Serena Moodley can get him to settle from that number 1 draw, he has been to Hollywoodbets Scottsville on 3 occasions for a third. He ran behind Comedy Club second, Go Grayson Go, and then behind World of Our Own. So in this type of company, I believe he's going to be right there when the whips are cracking. Not easy to put your head on the block here, because number 9, White Waters, has got some solid and decent Cape form, very, very consistent, and might have just needed a new run back for the stable in KwaZulu-Natal. The filly taking on the boys. But when it comes to the best weighted column, the Mike Miller team, they're sending out their winners. Tristan Godden got a feel for her last time out, and she has run 4th, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 2nd, going backwards, and I think she's going to run another very, very cracking race here. After that, we look at horses like number 7, Ragnar the King, who has been improving steadily and put up his career best behind Rooster Bradshaw last time over the 1400. They're now stepping the grey son of Denon Platina over the extra 200 meters, And the way this horse finishes off, will be running on very strongly with Gavin Arena for Wendy Whitehead. So this is going to be a danger. Then, as I mentioned, Prince Florian, I think he's still a horse who's maturing and learning to race, so he could be there at the business end. So keep an eye on number 1, Green Mile in the paddock. See if he's in that winning mood. If he gives the telltale signs that he's going to behave himself and he goes down to the start cool, calm and collected, he could certainly get into the winner's check. Number 9, White Waters, and then 7 and 5 to follow them home. So moving on to race number 7, the Marula Sprint, and I'm really looking forward to this race for 2 reasons. Firstly, the class of the race. There's some really decent animals in here. We've got a horse called William Robinson, who's a 12-time winner, looking to become a 13-time winner, and he's competed with the best of the best. He's done exceptionally well. And when it comes to travelling horses to Scottsville and Hollywoodbets Greyville, Corne Spes is a master at this. If you look at his course and distance record, a 50% win strike rate, his course stats, 6 runs, 3 wins, 2 seconds. So another 50% win strike rate there. Put everything together, last time out, I think the 1100 just caught him out. He seemed to be a bit flat-footed between the 800 and the 400. Once he started to find his stride, he started to finish off quite powerfully, and he's going to be the horse they all have to beat. The second reason I'm looking forward to it is because we've got Sharfolia in the race, and that's named after my 2 daughters. Thanks very much to Hollywood, to obviously Owen, Devon and Anthony. They gave a few people opportunities to name horses. My dad named Shanta's Pride after the 3 kids, and now we've got Sharfolia, who is a 5-time winner, and she finally put it to bed on the grass in her penultimate run when she beat Bevy's Delight, and on that occasion she won by just over a length. She then ran 4th last time out behind William Robinson. So there's only about a length between them. I still think William Robinson has her, but I'm just hoping that Sharfolia, who's done exceptionally well for us, I'm hoping I can go down to the course, enjoy the surroundings and lead her into the winner's box. But you've got to look at it at face value, and number 8, William Robinson, being a 12-time winner, everything points to him, and even money being the horse to beat. So I'm going to tip number 8, William Robinson. Number 4, Sunblush, who finished 3rd, just ahead of us in that last run to William Robinson. Captain Bombshell, where William Robinson ran into that 2nd spot and Sharfolia was back in 4th. So 8 from 4, then throw in number 2, Good Traveller, and number 10, Sharfolia. I'll be crossing my everything I've got and hoping she comes good on the day. Cross fingers, cross your legs, cross your arms, and hopefully she crosses the post first. But in all probability, number 8, William Robinson, will end up in the winner's queue. As we move along to race number 8, which is over 1100 meters, I think there's a little bit of excitement in the camp of a few trainers here, because you've got horses like Siberian Winter, number 3, who's going to be well fancied by a few people. You've got number 4, Yui. You've got number 5, Prankster, and then if you look down the page and you go through them, number 11, Emerald Green, hat-trick searching, looking for that 3rd win in a row. She is currently a 4-time winner, and she'll be looking to become a 5-time winner. They are betting 5-1 the field. Number 11, Emerald Green, 5-1. Number 12, One Smart Cookie, 5-1. Number 4, Yui is 6-1. Number 1, Happy and Nalia, and 14, Lady of Vic, 7-1. Number 3, Siberian Winters at 8-1, and then my first selection, number 5, Prankster, 12.5-1. So what I'm going to suggest to you is watch that replay of the last run. I made Prankster a good thing. We had a nice bet on her. We tipped her to the public, and despite having to weather the storm, she came through with flying colours. Do yourself a favour. Go watch that replay. Watch what went wrong, watch what transpired, and that's going to give you a bit of confidence. This morning when I went through the betting, 12.5-1 looks to be decent value. 18-10 a place, maybe a little bit of 2-1 if you're realistic. And with the 4 kgs off the back, I think a huge runner. So I'm going to go number 5, Prankster, at 12.5-1 to beat number 3, Siberian Winter, who had a decent second to onboard last time out. She was beaten almost 7 lengths by Emerald Green in her penultimate run, but she has slowly come down in the ratings, although they did push up a point for her last run, whereas Emerald Green from a 71 has gone up to an 81, so she's gone up 10 points, and I think that might just cause a little bit of a stir. And at 8-1, number 3, Siberian Winter, I think also worth having a bet. So I'm going to suggest 12.5-1 Prankster, have a little each way say. 8-1 Siberian Winter, each way say. Swingers, exactors, and then throw in number 11 Emerald Green. Box those 3 horses. Number 12, One Smart Cookie comes into the equation, and after that, number 4, a Yui. We'll see what she's all about over the 1100-meter trip after running a cracking second to Captain's Christie. Mtoliso Mbuto rode her on that occasion, but of course now Sean Veal gets aboard, so there's no 4 kg claim, and that leads me to believe that number 5 Prankster is the value in the race, and I'll tip number 5 Prankster 12.5-1, and number 3 Siberian Winter. And what's the game? Back 2 horses in the race, either or wins, you collect. Race number 9, bringing down the curtain at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. I'm just going to be brief and short. If you're in front, you'll be playing for free, and I'd suggest that you have a bet on 3 horses because they are betting 6-1 the field. Number 5 Quanry is 6-1, along with number 8 Connery, and then my Shruti in the race is number 11 Smorgasbord, who's around 20-1. So let me start off with number 11 Smorgasbord. He's 5.5 kilograms better off with Connery when they ran 4th on that occasion, and that is on the 27th of November. So the 5.5 kgs, and he's 20-1. Have a small little cover bet on him. He is a 6-year-old. He's had the 33 runs for 3 victories. He's yet to win over the course. He's yet to win the distance, but he's a horse I believe is going to be very, very effective here. So keep a close eye on him. The run that he ran 7 lengths behind Connery, they reported that he was wide and short left hind. So we'll ignore that run and we'll stick with that 27th of November form line. So the 27th of November form line, that is going to be the run that we're going to stick with. However, I'm going to go with number 5, Quandary at 6-1. Have a win bet on him. He's a course specialist. 6 runs for the 3 wins. Unbeaten course and distance, 1 from 1. And I think Piers Striker Stratum's magic's going to come through, and I think number 5, Quandary, will just about win it. However, the revelation in KwaZulu-Natal, the right move was bringing number 8, Connery here, because he has not looked back. He won 5 on the bounce, and then last time out, he just tired out late on. I think the 1,000 meters is going to be right up his alley here today, and on the meeting, he's going to run an absolute cracker, and he'll be my second pick. But like I say, you can back 2-3 horses in a race. There's no rules in racing. At 6-1, numbers 5 and 8. JC Boerters takes the 4 kgs off him. He knows him exceptionally well. He knows him like the back of his hand. I think he's ridden him on 3 occasions for 2 wins, and I think that he's going to go very, very close. He might try and slip away from them, and he might end up in the winner's box, and this is owned for a host of connections, and of course he runs in Robert Bloomberg's colours, and of course if you go back the years, the July was won by Dunford in those colours, and number 8 Connery, it's now known as the Hollywoodbets Durban July. Dunford's colours could come to the 4 with number 8 Connery. He's going to be my second selection. However, we're going to back all 3 runners. So back number 5 Connery at 6-1, number 8 Connery at 6-1, and then number 11 Smorgasbord as a cover, exacta, trifecta, and quartet horse at 20-1. And those are my 3 selections. Then after you look at them, you've got number 4, Northern Warrior, number 6, War Empress, and we better give number 7, Warrior of Royalty, a little bit of airtime. He ran third to a certain Cat's Pajamas, who's done exceptionally well, and if he brings up his A game and decides to gallop on the day, he could certainly run a big race. But in declaring, I'm going 5, 8, 11, and at 4th position, let's go with number 7, Warrior of Royalty. Suggested bet for the day, as I mentioned, the eyeglasses, the equipment change on. I've got my goggles on so we can see into the form line of number 2, Harun Al Rashid, race 5, number 2. His form lines, I think, are superior to this field, and with the magic of Pierce Stratum coming into town at 13 to 10, I think he's worth a bet on the nose, and I'm going to make him the best bet on the card, and I am expecting him to come through and win. So when it comes down to the end of the meeting, hopefully Pierce Stratum is going to have a good day, and race 5, number 2, Harun Al Rashid, will be my best bet on the card. And you, the viewer out there, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow the YouTube channel, and hopefully you end up in the winner's enclosure.